I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia. Woo!
Sam Healy.
We're here.
Excited top half, man.
I know,
This
right?
is the worst of the best. Because last time we did the best of the worst, right?
No, you got that backwards.
No.
No, I mean, right.
This is not the worst of the best.
We're in the top 50.
The worst
These are the
of the
worst 10
best.
of our best 50.
Okay, sure. Yes. So I can talk trash about these games, is what you're saying. These are the worst.
50.
41 through 50. Whatever.
No new people's choice in this one. All games we've seen before. I have 3 new ones on
Okay.
this top 10.
Okay. I have one new one.
I have 2 new and 1 resurgence from 2 years ago.
So this is not as tumultuous as your last 10.
Tumultuous. I like it.
Well, his last 10 was very, a lot
A
of...
lot of new ones. Yeah, I had
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4,
I
5,
could just come up
5 new ones last time.
There's going to be some highlights in here, folks. and
All
stuff.
these games, though, is if we are better than poop.
No, they are not. Well,
Hey, the
technically,
people are,
No, technically,
if
according to
anybody
you, they
started
are.
watching right now, instead of watching the last 10, they'll be like, what are they talking about?
yeah, right.
You must watch
They're all
the
in order.
last
16 to 51.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, here we go. Top 50 means amazing all around. Here we go. Let's get started. All right, number 50 is one of my new to the list ones. When this game I first played, I did not actually think it would hit my top 100, and I played multiple times, and I really like it. And this is Anachrony.
Nice.
This is a worker placement with giant miniatures, which are unnecessary, and I'll never play without.
Like all miniatures.
No.
I retract my previous statement.
Oh, miniatures are unnecessary. Well, we don't need boards either or cards. We can just write,
True.
keep track of everything
You
on
don't even need
paper
physical
and
components.
pencil.
You can just play all the games in your head.
I like to play mental magic.
That's right.
I moved
which I play
3
Magic-
units from
In which I play Magic
around
the
here to over
Gathering.
there.
People do it with chess. You can do it with board games.
That's true. People
Would you
play
ever play-
mental magic. That's insanity to me. You know what that is? People play Magic the Gathering just in their heads.
That's
That's-
another level.
How are they drawing the cards?
You draw whatever you want from your, like from everything that's out there, I think. Like, no joke. It blows my mind. I want to sit there and watch and laugh and point. And eat popcorn, probably.
I'm trying to imagine how this would work. Okay, anyway, we're getting off topic. Okay, so Anachrony. I really like this game. It has time travel, which works to some degree in the game. You're basically borrowing resources from the future, and then you got to go back and fix these timelines. There's a lot of different places to put the workers. There are 3 or 4 main types of workers, and where you put them matters. So they have different skills. They can go different areas. It has a kind of a cool theme. The apocalypse is coming, and you are preparing for it in some manner or
Right.
fashion. When it happens, you want people to follow you
Okay.
and your way of fixing things,
Okay.
which is the only way, as we all know.
Yes.
So Anachrony, my number 50.
My number 50 is also one of my new ones to this segment, and it is a game called In Between. In Between is a really neat 2-player game.
Is that
has-
little upside inside out? Oh, what's that called?
It's like Stranger Things.
Stranger Things card game.
Yeah, kind of. It's not. Doesn't have that IP on it, but it has that same vibe. It has that same theme applied to it. Whereas this underworld that this evil entity is trying to drag people from the real world, the top world, down into his world, and it's just a really neat game of back and forth. It has a lot of take that to it because it's just the nature of the game. I need to bolster this guy up here and raise his level on the upside so that it's harder for the other player to pull him down to the other side. And there's a tug of war that's going on here with the different locations, the different people at the locations. There's just a lot really cool things going on, and it had a really great theme that pulled me into it because at the time I was watching Stranger Things. And so I was like, whoa, this is cool, because it had the same very similar vibe to it. So that's my number 50, In Between.
My number 50 was on Tom's list recently. This was 18 last time, so quite a big day, but it's a party game. This is going to oscillate just based on whether it hit the table or not, more than any other game, probably. Balderdash is my 50.
Oh, yeah. Well, we haven't played it for a while, actually.
And I haven't played it in just other groups with non-gamers either for a while. When I was doing that a little more frequently, then it got really high up on my list. But it's a great, dictionary game spin-off. The new Balderdash, as Tom said a couple lists ago, includes now what Beyond Balderdash used to have in it. That is actually the one I still have, Beyond Balderdash. But there's all these.
We just got to kind of get it out of my vocabulary.
I do too, right. It's just Balderdash. It's got a lot of categories. It's not just a dictionary game with a word most people don't know, and then you make up a fake definition. Now you've got, like you said, the laws. You try to make up a fake, make up a fake law, even though there is a real kooky kind of law, and then people and what they're famous for, dates and what happened on that date. It just...
Movies is my favorite.
Movies
is still my favorite. The movie plots
is hilarious. Yes. So lots of fun. A great party game that I usually don't even finish. We just sort of laugh until it just peters out. You know what I mean? It's just that it happens. Balderdash, my number 50. Love it.
Yeah. I wonder if the people like in the Inside Out are the three guys giving their worst 100 games of all time now. If we were going in
the Upside Down,
I think Upside Down. Sorry, you're right. The Inside Out would be a lot grosser.
Yes, that's disgusting.
All right. Number 50 for People's Choice was 54 last year. This is the second year on the list, and that is Star Wars Imperial Assault.
Boom.
Now, this is actually really surprising for me. Only because I know they're still releasing expansions for it. Mm-hmm. I've heard no one mention this game. Like, I never see it played. Maybe it's like played at people's houses. Like, they get together.
Which one is this? This is the miniatures with, like...
It's Descent.
Descent one, yeah, okay. Yeah.
I see it being played probably every other time I go to a game night. Yeah, it's just back in the corner where you don't go, usually, I guess. No, I'm serious.
In the dark corner of the store
no,
I dare not tread.
No, there's like usually when we go to Kindle, it's the front of the store is usually Magic players
and brightly lit.
And and then our group is usually in the middle there somewhere.
And then there's RPG in the
mingled
back.
in, and then there's RPGs, and there's been Imperial Assault back there. And
has there? Well,
yeah,
I've totally missed this one.
Yeah.
Well, those guys are voting apparently.
I mean, there for a while, Vernon was playing it almost every other time he went up there.
All right.
He wouldn't spend the whole night playing it, but
I totally missed that one.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. 50, your 50, Star Wars Imperial Assault. My number 49, I've been on the list now for 3 years. It was 44, 27, now back to 49. Mansions of Madness, 2nd edition.
Nice.
I'm just going to say from now on, though, Mansions of Madness. Again, this... No, it gets tiresome to always be saying these 2.0 2nd edition.
But it's a different game.
Well, sure, but the other game is virtually gone at this point.
I still have Battle Lore 1st edition.
Do you really?
Yeah. No one plays it with me.
You need to get rid of that.
Hey, don't you tell me what to do about me. I will.
Anyway, this is one of the few games on my list that I prefer to play solitaire.
This cat. Hypocrite. Remember how much you used to be like, oh, you guys play solitaires. You have no friends, Z. Get out of my house. All that stuff. I remember.
Okay, well, just to clarify,
you still...
I'm not taking any of that back.
I know. Get out of here with your...
Wow.
Anyway.
Yeah, but Mansion of Madness, this is why I'm kind of mind-boggled, because I know it's higher on Z's list for sure. The Arkham Horror card game. I'm mind-boggled why people pick that over Mansions of Madness. Because the Mansion of Madness, the app has the music, the theming.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't played very much Mansions of Madness. That's the thing. I actually do want to play this more. I think I played it once or twice.
Yeah, okay. That's probably true.
It seemed really slow-paced, I think is partly the only thing, honestly, that I can remember not liking about it. It's also really expensive.
Yeah, okay. That's
really very hypocritical of me, because having followed the card game, I've paid more for the card game than basically everything that's out for Mansions of Madness 2.0.
You think so, though? Because they keep releasing a lot of big expansions, and they're like $60-$70 a pop. I haven't got them all.
It might be close. I don't know how many expansions they've got out for that.
That's like a good, what games, if you went and bought all of them,
how much
would be the most expensive? Not counting, obviously, Magic the Gathering and those collectible card games.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a game where you can go out and still buy it and all its stuff.
Wow.
One of the living card games might not be a bad pick. I mean...
Right?
You mean the most expensive, you mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean, yeah.
Probably one of the living card games.
Netrunner's about to run out, but there's a lot of Netrunner stuff.
Some of those Kickstarter miniature games, they run $350, $400 if you go all in.
Well, sure, but
that's
what about these
$400?
Android like Netrunner where they came out with 2 packs every month that were $20 each or whatever? Then you do that over the course of 3 years. All right. Anyway, so my number 49, Mansions of Madness, 2nd edition.
But you're going to stop
You
saying
said it
that.
anyway.
All right.
Well, I'm fading it out. Each time will get softer. Mansions of Madness, 2nd edition. Then pretty soon I'll be Mansions of Madness.
Just
Then
you still have to take the pause. Awkward. Go ahead.
All right, my number 49 was 51 last year, and this is
My
my.
number 49 was 51 last year too. That's so weird.
Oh, really? That's cool. So this is my favorite biblically themed game, and this is called Commissioned. This is by Kara Games, and it is basically Pandemic in reverse. Instead of
You
cleaning
want
up all the
people to
cubes,
die.
no. Instead of cleaning up all the cubes, you're trying to put cubes on the board and spread the growth of the church. It's what you're doing. Everybody takes on the role of one of the disciples. Peter, James, John, Thomas is in there as well. It wasn't him though.
My namesake.
There's no real reason I think for its rise, except for possibly they do have an expansion coming out for it.
Really?
It's yeah.
Oh, didn't the game come out like 4 years ago? That's
I think
a
they're
late expansion.
I think they're kickstarting it, if I'm not mistaken. But that's on the horizon, so that might have something to do with it. But probably it's just floating around where it's going to reside. So that's my number 49, Commissioned.
This is very funny, actually, Sam. So you're 49, my 49, 51 last time for both of these.
And his is
biblically
pandemic.
themed, minus claustrophobia.
Oh my goodness.
Which is almost the opposite.
It's basically the opposite theme.
So
there
You're
are.
pumped about this upcoming Kickstarter.
I am
then.
very pumped about it. Yeah, this actually
So
there are
you're
priests
the
in this,
upside
but
down.
I'm the upside down in
Yes.
this case. Yeah, there are priest characters in this game. Actually, this is an alternate history, like 1600s game, but you are going into these caverns under the earth to destroy demons, basically. That's the theme. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting. There is, as Tom said, an upcoming re-release of this. I think they're reworking it. I forget who's doing it. They're doing a Kickstarter of it near the end of the year, I think, and I'm really excited
Is
about
it Monolith? I feel like it might be
Monolith, maybe? Yeah, I think it is Monolith.
yes, that's who it was. They were right across the hall from us at Gen Con, and they were showing it off. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
And
Barry
this
Dublé.
that's right, he was there. This is a 2-player only, at least again, I don't know anything about the new one. This is a 2-player only, exploration confrontation game in which one side is playing the heroes, the other side is the endless hordes of troglodytes and demons and stuff. And you are going to be exploring the map, as I said. It's got some tile reveal going on, and then fighting, rolling dice, getting into some combat. I really like the mechanisms in this. It's a game that's pretty streamlined. It's one of the smaller miniatures games out there. The scope is fairly small, but I really enjoy that mechanically it is so sound. I like the progression of the characters. I like that as you take wounds, what you do is block lines of action on your characters, and so now you can no longer activate that specific combination of, say, combat and defense. Sometimes you can go very defensive if you know you're about to get attacked. Your combat that round won't be good. But once that line is gone, you don't have that option anymore. And it all just works together very well. This is a game I've always had a good time with. Claustrophobia, my 49.
All right, so very similar to Claustrophobia and Commission.
Yeah.
This was actually number 2 when it first came out on the list. It's
Oh,
now down to
my.
49. Agricola.
Agricola down to 49, huh?
Yeah, it was 35 last year, then 28. So it's
People are finally coming around.
no, it's.
It's just old now, but I
Well,
wonder
they
if
came
there
out
are
with a new
other...
edition last year. I
The
think.
family one, though?
No, like Mayfair had come out with a 2nd edition, and they redid the cards. That was last year. Yeah.
Did they fix it? I'm kidding.
No, he's
kidding.
not. No, he's not.
I still like Agricola, but to me, just Caverna just destroyed
I mean,
it. Right?
there's probably other Rosenberg games higher on the list, though.
Well, we've already, for People's Choice, 52 was Feast for Odin and 53 was La Havre. They actually are all really close. 49
They're very
Agricola.
similar.
Well, probably the same people came and put them all on the list,
That's true.
right? They're like, oh, boom, boom, boom. And
A Caverna has not been on the list.
I don't think Caverna has shown up yet, and it may never show up.
Interesting. Yeah, Agricola.
No,
gets-
we have not yet seen Caverna. It might be higher. We'll see.
Spoilers, man.
So 49. I am sneaky. 59 is Agricola. No, 49.
49 Agricola. All right, cool.
My number 48 is also new to the list. This game came out this year. I have played this one a lot because for one, I demoed it at a convention for a long time, and that was Western Legends. Really, I'm a huge cowboy fan of that theming, that Wild West theme, and there are so few games about it.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, I could do a top 10 list probably on the subject, but a lot of them would be sideline, like you mentioned Dice Town. Hey, I'm rolling dice. That's really cool, but it's not really Western. You're not going around and doing duels and stuff. It's just rolling dice. And there's a lot of gambling games set in this genre and whatever. This is, though, going around rustling cattle, you know.
Well, it's a sandbox style game.
Yeah, and I love
the Old
sandbox.
West. That works, yeah.
There was a previous sandbox game, Spurs, which I liked but had really bad components. This one is better than Spurs and has much nicer components.
Yeah.
So across board, just like my Western theme. Pew pew!
Rambo 5 is going to have a Western theme. They're making a Rambo 5, and it's going to be a rancher Western theme.
Rambo the Rancher.
Yeah.
So
He's
bunch of
older.
ranchers are gonna
He's
kidnap
older.
his
I don't know.
cattle, and he's be like, with a
takes-
bazooka.
I just
Someone
want to see.
takes one
I
of
just
his
want to see him
goats.
riding a horse with an M60.
He did that already, right?
No, he didn't. It was
No, in
AK-47. He was
Oh, that was what, 3?
Ah,
Rambo
okay.
3, he was riding that horse
Rambo 3,
around?
your worst nightmare.
the most realistic war movie ever made.
I agree.
First Blood was realistic, and then it
And then it's
quickly
like,
went downhill after that.
I might argue that First Blood there was some slightly. I feel like if he fell out of a helicopter,
It could-
he would have died there. in
It
that
could
one scene.
it could happen. Tree limbs can break your fall. They would also be breaking you too.
Yeah, I know. It's
So
always the guy comes out and he bounces like 5 feet before the ground. And
It
like,
could
oh,
happen, I guess.
fine.
Maybe.
He's fine.
We'll see. I said it was the most realistic. No.
Anyway, so what was my there? Western Legends, my number 48.
Rambo 5.
Today is Rabbit Trail Day.
No.
Go.
That was relevant. My number 48 was 20 last year. And this is just lack of play. That's all it is. I still really enjoy the game. I love the Streamline 3.0 edition of Fury of Dracula.
Yeah.
And it is a great game. I think the first time I played this game was we were at Origins and we were staying at one of a dude's house in Columbus.
Sounds legit, yes.
And he had
played-
just got Fury of Dracula, and we came back and played it at night.
Was I sleeping?
Oh my goodness, we were all very tired, but we all played. That was the
I might not remember that so well.
that was the second edition, but that was the first time I played it a long time ago,
wow.
and we played it we played it much.
Well, it's on 4th
Ever
edition
since
now,
now.
but you haven't played the new one.
Technically,
well,
yes.
yeah, I think that's just more of a reprint.
Same as the
Yeah,
first.
they're calling it the same 3rd/4th edition. That's annoying.
3.2.
Yeah, is that what it is?
I don't know.
You got to do the Windows thing. 3.1.
3.1.
3.14.
Yes. Then Fury of Pies.
Fury of Pies. I buy a game called Fury of Pies.
Fury of Blood Pies.
Ah!
Yeah. All right, so that's my number 48, Fury of Dracula 3.0.
What is happening? Anyway, my 48 is new to the list. This is the Manhattan Project Energy Empire, which is my favorite one of that series. You just mentioned Minutes to Midnight was on yours. Energy Empire of the 3 is the one I like the most. It's a chunky kind of Euro game, but I love that the actions are very streamlined. I love the energy production in it. You roll a bunch of dice, that's how much energy you've got. And then you deploy workers and you bolster them with that energy. So you can take a spot that's been occupied by paying a little bit more than the last person who went there. And you're managing, a lot of different things, but it all flows together really well. I like this Euro game. It's one that's got a lot under the hood, but plays smoothly. I like the sort of, the scope of it in many ways is pretty interesting. The implications, though, you got to watch out for damaging the environment, keep that in check, and pollution, and I mean, there's so much at stake, but it's handled in a way that keeps the game turns flowing. I really like it. So, the Manhattan Project Energy Empire, that's my 48.
People's Choice number 48 was number 7 when it first showed up, but this one is still on the list despite it being currently out of print. And it was number 1 on Board Game Geek for like 6, 7, 8 years, and that is Puerto Rico.
That's out of print?
Well, it's Rio Grande, right? I don't know. Maybe it isn't out of print. I have not seen it
That's
in
interesting.
print.
One can only hope.
Oh, come on. It's a great game.
That's the kind of
Excellent
game that if Rio Grande doesn't have the rights, though, I assume they do, but if they didn't, it would get reprinted immediately.
I think so. This is a game that if you played this today, it would still stand out amongst other Euro games. It's not, doesn't feel the same as anything else.
I'm just
What
saying.
side of fence you gonna be on, man?
I'm saying it would be in print. This is a prestigious game. I would print it, but I wouldn't play it. But I would print it.
It would be called. It would be called.
Okay, ignore this nonsense. Puerto Rico's a great game. Good choice on your number 48, people.
Cuba Rico.
It's a good choice. I just like other games better. Much better.
My number 47 is new to the list again. And this one is also from this year, and this one is probably going to get me some surprise, I guess, because I like it this much. But it's one of my favorite social deduction games right now, and that is Hail Hydra. I know, I really like it.
I can't even say the title of that name and be okay with it.
Why? You don't like Hydra?
No, Hydra's the bad guys.
Hydra's keeping his nation secure.
I'm a big fan of Hydra myself. This whole shield thing, like, oh, the good guys, rah, rah, rah.
In
You
this
cut
game,
off one head.
most of the players
2.
are actually good, though. You would like that part, except when you were Hydra. You would hate it if you were Captain America
And Hydra.
Oh, I would.
That would be comic realistic,
That would
though.
be
Comic
horrible.
book accurate.
Well, not currently.
That was just a one-off, wasn't it?
That made the
Yes.
news. The fact that they.
Yes, okay.
Stupid.
So what happened was
I don't want to know. No.
So what had happened was
No. We're not.
Captain
doing
America
it. No.
rescued a little girl who was the embodiment of the cosmic cube.
evil.
A cosmic cube attained consciousness, and this girl wanted to fix everything.
This is our nerd level right now.
And so she went back and fixed Captain America. So
no, just
she changed it.
So wait, I have to have somewhere to go.
just bury it.
This
It's
is
gonna go
about
below.
to get way
it's gonna
nerdy.
break the
Changed
bottom of the
timeline
gauge.
in the past, where Captain America, when he was very young, his mom was befriended by Nazis, and therefore Captain America became a Hydra agent way back when he was a child. So she rewrote history, essentially. However,
right,
there
dude,
was actually
stop.
2 Captain Americas. Okay.
All right.
No, but I really like this game. I love the look of it. I like the artwork, and I just like it mixes a little bit to me of. It basically feels like Battlestar Galactica, but on a much quicker level. You know, you're essentially picking who's going to go on the mission, and you're playing cards. You reveal and see what happens. Wait a minute, we have some negative cards. Probably Z played the cards.
That was me. Oh, Hydra.
He's Hydra. He's not even hiding it anymore. Yeah, I'm Hydra.
Hiding in plain sight.
That's how you do it.
All right, but I really like the game. Hail Hydra.
My number 47 was 59 2 years ago, and then it slipped off the list for 2 full years. But it has come back at number 47, and this I can definitely say is because of the expansion that's coming out this year, and that is Kemet, the set expansion. But Kemet is the game.
Well, shame on you for 2 years without being in your top 100.
Well, here's the thing. The thing that I didn't like about Kemet is how
5 players.
easily. Well, I don't know about that.
You played a 5-player game of
No. It's not that. I don't mind that. If I can play a 6-player game of TI4, I can play a 5-player game of Kemet. Come on.
Yeah, shut up.
It's not
Go
that.
on.
It's the fact that there was no. It just felt like there was no. If you wanted to attack me, you could, and there was no way that I could. It just felt like there was no way that I could stop that from happening. Everybody is just in each other's face at the very beginning of the
That's
game.
what I don't like about it. Everyone is literally, no matter where you are on the map, 2 spaces away from everybody
That's
else.
right.
I don't
that.
like that.
I don't
I don't like that. But that was when it was a competitive game. With the set expansion, it becomes a 1 versus all. So now
What?
4 people are working against Set to get him to. Now, of course, Set is really powerful, He has his own deck of cards. He has his own upgrades, but he can also some of his upgrades
not know
also.
this?
No.
Some of his upgrades actually
not a
allow
gamer.
him to purchase everybody else's upgrades as well. So it's a really neat expansion, and I think it was a positive direction for the game. Kemet, my number 47.
That's pretty cool. I did not know that. No.
Yeah, it definitely changes the game tremendously.
Yeah,
That's cool. Anyway, let me talk about a
makes
better
it fun
game.
again.
See if you'll disagree with me. If you do,
Better than Kemet? I'm going to tell you right
better
now.
than Kemet. My 47 is Blood Rage.
Definitely better than Kemet.
Come at me, bro. You can't. You can't touch this. Dun, 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 dun. It's Blood Rage.
Oh my goodness, no
I
one
will
wants to see
say
you
this.
dance.
I will say this. Much too low.
It's Blood Rage. Okay, Blood Rage was 42 last time, 47 this time, about the same spot. It's good. I think I'll just let Sam talk about it later.
Wow.
If it happens.
It's gonna be a long wait.
All right. Yeah.
Very good
All
stuff.
right. The People's Choice number 47 was 47 last year, 2 years in a row. This one is a version of another popular game.
It was the exact same number?
It was 52. Before that, 70. It's going up, which is weird because this game came out in 2005.
Ew, it's old.
Following the game that won the Be Able to Yards, Ticket to Ride. This one is Ticket to Ride Europe.
Boom.
I know. Now I'm assuming
Zoogum all up in your face.
Ticket to Ride is more popular than that.
Zoom,
We'll
zoom.
find out. What?
Zoogum zoog.
Ticket to Ride Europe, number 47.
Zoogum zoog.
Zoogum Zoog.
All right. My number 46 was once number 3 on my list.
Ooh,
it has
real.
fallen a bit. Mostly, this is just lack
Not
of
a
play.
bit. That's not a bit.
It's lack of play.
That's a lot.
It's not a lot.
That's
Still
a
very
lot
high.
for lack
It was
of
30
play.
last year. Descent, second edition, Descent.
Yo, you gotta say it, man. It might be first edition for all we know.
Nobody puts Descent first edition over second edition
I still
except that
have
guy
Balmore.
who immediately just commented on
There's
YouTube.
one dude out
He's
there.
like, we up. Okay,
First
but
edition was much better.
I still like it. And as you can see, it's higher for me than Imperial Assault, which is weird because when I first heard about Star Wars Imperial Assault, I was like, oh, wow. Star Wars Dungeon Crawl, unbelievable. I like the fantasy version of it better.
You do.
I also think that the way they release so many different classes of characters and how different they can be, I have a good time playing this game. But it's been a while since I've played it, and it may keep slipping if I don't get it played.
Isn't there an app for this?
Yeah, but I didn't like the app that much.
But the app helped you run the game or something?
Yeah, the problem with the app was, first of all, it's so you can play together against a DM. I like being the dungeon master in this game.
Well, the app was a DM?
Yeah, and so everything moves robotically, and then also all the information still needs to come from the game. So they'd be like, get a monster, and I'm like, flip, 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 flip. All right, here's the monster. And I would have rather the information just be on the app.
Okay, let's see.
So, Descent. My number 46.
My number 46 was 13 last year, so it has slipped a lot. It's a
serious
two-player
drops here.
game. Yeah, it's a two-player game. This is also lack of play as well because it's harder to have time to play two-player games, which is strange because they don't take as long usually. But it's just harder to get two-player games to the table. There's usually more people than that. Hanami Koji is number 46. This is my favorite Emperor S4 game.
13.
This was 13. Yeah, this was 13. I really enjoyed it when it first came out, and I still really enjoy it as well. It's just I don't play it as often as I used to. So it has slipped a lot.
This shouldn't be a 13 game anyway. Come on now.
Have you played it?
I have.
Did you play with Sam?
I did.
Did you get beat up and down the street?
I did.
That's right.
That's why you don't think it
You
should
know
be.
who
Hey,
else?
they're coming out with a mat for this at Essen.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, you
gonna
just
try
say
to
a
get one.
bat? That's messed up. He's already good at the game enough.
Matt.
Oh, I thought he was like a bat.
Why would that even make sense?
Because the way you beat people at this game
No,
would
that's
warrant bat abuse.
No.
I said deliberate stupidity.
Something to
that
that
happens
effect.
quite a bit when you're dealing with me.
46, Hanami Koji. A great game.
Not 13 great, but
No.
still pretty good. My 46 was 45 last time. It's just dropping. It's a big drop. Anyway, this is Mr. Jack. I know Tom hates it. I still like Mr. Jack a lot.
I do hate it. Hater coming out with something for this at SN2, but I don't remember what. Something.
Really?
Yeah,
Did
something
not
for
see
Mr.
that
Jack.
on
Yeah,
any
it's on my list.
Okay. Mr. Jack's got a bunch of spin-offs. Just pick whichever one you like. Mr. Jack or the one in New York is fine.
Phantom of the Opera.
Phantom of the Opera is sort of Mr. Jack adjacent. Yeah, it uses the same system.
It's the same game.
It's pretty different than the ones with the free sort of movement on the board.
Okay, but
Yeah.
it just feels like the same system. It's
similar, yeah, for
okay.
sure. Anyway, I really like it. It's a two-player deduction, kind of. It's more like possibility elimination game. You're not really deducing things. You're trying to, from the possible choices, split the group, eliminate one half, split that group, eliminate one half, while the other player's trying to keep you from doing that. I really enjoy it, though. It's got a cool theme. So, yeah, Mr. Jack, my 46.
All right, the People's Choice 46. They agree with Sam earlier. Kemet was 43 last year, 41 the year before that, so it stays pretty high up there.
Yep.
And maybe the set expansion is not widely available yet, so maybe once that becomes widely available, it might move up or it might stay the same, right?
Well, it changes the game quite a bit from the sounds of it, so it might be one of those love it or leave it kind of
That might
things.
be polarizing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but either way, it's a very popular game. A lot of people really like it, and I can certainly understand that. So that's Kemet, number 46. Number 45 is a great, amazing game. It's been all over the place. I mean, it was 24 last year, but just depending on how much I play it. I have played this several times this year, although I did not like the newest expansion, which shouldn't have existed anyway because they said they would stop making expansions 2 years ago, but they lied. And that is Dominion.
Oh.
Remember, this is the final expansion.
I know.
Except we got 2 more, and you know what? They just announced another one.
Seriously?
Yeah, they did it. Well, not just, but recently I've
Didn't want
announced
that
another
money
one.
train to stop.
That would be a good expansion. Dominion Money Train. Choo.
I still like this, though. Yes, there's no theme. Yes, it's the first deck builder, and other deck builders have taken the series in other ways, but I like how fast it is, how simple it is. Just grab some cards, build them, and it has a lot of fun strategy to it. I just really enjoy it, despite what others might think.
True.
Cool. I like it. It's not top 100, but I like it.
Really?
Yeah. Nope.
Shame.
Not at all.
It's a shame.
Number
It's a great
45.
game.
Number 45 for me was 21 last year, and this is another 2-player game that I actually just played. I think 5 or 6 times the other night.
It'll
And
be a 5-minute game.
that was pretty much it. Is Onitama, not 5 minutes, but
Wow.
yeah, no, I really like the game. It's fun. The new expansion that just came out for it, Way of the Wind, is also cool. Adds a slight, paper thin layer of complexity to it because you're not only moving the your pawns and your masters around, you're also moving a wind spirit token around, and that's blocking movement from other people.
Now, you put this on the list before you played that expansion, though, I think,
I did.
right?
I did. So
that probably would change it in either way?
No, I don't think so. I don't think it would. It would probably still be in this bracket, I guess you could say. I don't think it would. It doesn't add that much to the game to make it better. It just gives you a little bit of extra complexity to it. But my number 45, Onitama.
My number 45 is a game I've played for many, many years. I've always been a fan of this. This is Liar's Dice. It was 33 last time. It's, the top half of my favorite 100 games. It's one that the version I have is actually that bluff version. It's a little bit nicer than some of the other editions that have been put
There are
out.
so many versions of this. Bluff Perudo.
Yeah.
Asmodeus came out with some little weird edition of it.
Well, and then when Pirates of the Caribbean was in movie theaters, they
Then
came
they
out
discovered
with
with a new game.
Yeah, they came out with that. I remember seeing that at Toys R Us.
I did. Did you buy it?
Oh, poor Toys R Us.
A moment of silence, please.
To your face.
No, I never bought that. No. But it looked cool. The cups especially in that version, looked really cool.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I thought about getting it because it looked cool. 4 players, though, I think. I don't think it was a
no
6
board.
player.
I like the board for bidding.
The board, if you play without the board, it really throws me off.
Yeah, I mean, I'm used to it now. I won't play a version without it. So, yeah, Liar's Dice or Bluff or whichever other name you want to call it. Really like it. That's my 45.
All right, People's Choice 45 was their 27 last year, and it has been on mine and Z's lists so far, and that is Time Stories. So,
That was not on my list.
was it on your list?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yep.
Oh, it fell off your list.
Yes, it did.
We mentioned that, yeah. So yeah, it's an interesting thing. It's dropping, but again, people are playing this
72.
and taking out whether the game is getting better or worse, taking all that out. It's just, that's going to be the nature of the beast. People are going to buy it, play the module, and each module is likely, unless there's some amazing hook, they're going to sell less and less. That's just how games would work, right?
Yeah,
It's how any series of expansions work. I just mentioned Dominion. Each of those expansions is probably selling progressively less than the last one, just because fewer people are going out and buying them all. So I would imagine that's some similar stuff with Time Stories, but still very popular enough to put on the list.
That's good.
And it makes sense because it's a fun game. So that is your choice, Time Stories. All right, up to the 44s. Now we're talking about good games.
Now we just
Yeah,
got to
we
good
always have
games.
been.
Nobody told me this. He just said Blood Rage is garbage. I just mentioned that.
Not quite. We'll see. Okay, so my 44, again, crossing with the People's Choice, and that is Puerto Rico. I really like Puerto Rico. That's why I thought so highly of your choice, mostly because it agreed with mine. That's how we are.
That's how that works.
Right? Excellent choice, because I agree.
Puerto Rico's fine. I just like, and I've always liked, the card game better. I know they're not really the same beast. I understand that. Saying that, oh, I don't like Puerto Rico that much because I like San Juan doesn't really... It's not particularly valid. But
I don't think they're the same game at all, actually.
that's just the way it goes. I just like getting the same sort of development and building feel and action selection feel from San Juan myself. So
Puerto Rico was on my very first 100 games of all time. It was
Yeah.
at 100. I remember that.
that's interesting.
Because I came in, I said 100, and people in the audience were like, woo! Because some of them didn't like Puerto Rico. It was at number 1 on Board Game Geek at the time. It was like, yeah, not everyone thinks it's number 1. And back then it was 100 out of 600 games or so. So this is actually a huge improvement to be 44 out of 6,000 games. So Puerto Rico, I really like it a lot.
All right, my number 44 was 83 last year. And technically, I guess you could kind of call this a new addition to the list because it's a new edition of the game. But Spyfall was 83. DC Spyfall is number 44. Because I like it that much better.
Really?
Yeah.
But why?
It takes the convoluted idea of having that little name at the bottom, or that little role or character at the bottom of each card, just throws that out and gives you a special ability that you can do.
Oh, okay. As I say, I threw that name thing out anyway. I never played with that rule.
I know, but in essence, what you're doing is you're throwing out one of the cool factors of a game for me, and that where you can act like a specific character. You can role play that character, or you can role play that ability, or whatever it might be. And just doing away with that knocks out half the fun of the game for me. So having this special powers deck that everybody has, you could just be a bystander and you don't have a special power. You could be, something else. You have a really weird, quirky power. It's just a better way to do that whole variable player power kind of esque thing that they were trying to do in the original game. And I think it's that much better. I like the artwork on this one a lot better as well. I think it's a little bit more appealing with the comic books. There's something you can grab a hold of.
Just unfortunate that it's DC.
Hey man, Hell Hydra.
No, it is. No.
It's not DC?
No, that's...
Live long and prosper over there. Okay, yes.
Anyway, DC Spyfall, it would have been better as Marvel, but DC Spyfall was cool. Number 44.
As long as we're saying that fact, that's all I care.
Wow, okay.
They make Marvel Spyfall, although
That'll make Sam's list and the other ones out.
I think Cryptozoic is pretty much tied into DC, right? I don't think they have anything Marvel. Marvel's like the Upper Decks, Purview,
I guess.
and WizKids. Actually,
Okay.
WizKids has all the comics, I think. Anyway, sorry.
Anyway, my
I want to hear more
number
about Captain America.
my number 44 is it'll be this game until they come out with a Marvel version anyway, because I would love to see Marvel Queen Domino. That's where it's at. Where you build up instead of the kingdom, you are putting together the different layers of the characters, their bases of operation.
You're totally running out of.
I don't know
stuff
how
here.
Marvel works.
No.
Anyway,
Obviously.
Queen Domino was 80 last time, 44 right now. It's grown on me more and more. I enjoyed King Domino. It was a very light game. Queen Domino stepped it up a little bit, enough that now it's not just a game I think of when I want to teach something straightforward and clean and very easy to grasp. Now it's a game that I can both do that with, and I want to play it just as much. It's got just more interest, more moving parts. Not enough to push itself out of that intro category, but just more engaging. The new expansion, I think we were talking about it a couple of lists ago, the Age of Giants, which again, it is advertised as an expansion to King Domino, but it works here also. And I've just got mine shuffled into this deck. Now the tile backs don't match, but it does not matter. It doesn't really matter.
Matters to me.
Anyway, Queen Domino, my 44, tile laying goodness. That's why I like it.
All right, your number 44 was 66 last year, so it's moving up. It was 68 the year before that, and that is Zolkin.
Interesting.
This is one of those games that just has a lot of staying power. It's very popular. The designers who made it are now some of the hottest designers around. They weren't when the game came out,
true.
but definitely they're moving up in that.
Is there an expansion or something I don't know about?
No, expansion came out a few years ago. It didn't come out like this year. I like the expansion. My opinion of it has gone up. I just think this is one that has a lot of staying power. This is one that people enjoy.
All right.
And I think this is one of the few games where the gimmick of the game was secondary to the game.
Yeah.
A lot of times the gimmick, and this one, the gimmick was those cogs moving around.
Yeah.
That is not. The game does. I mean, yes, it revolves around that cog thing, but I think the game transcends the cogs. So I like this a lot. It didn't make my top 100, but
Cog
I like it a lot more.
That's a new mechanism.
Cog transcension?
Gotta be careful.
That's a whole new.
We're done.
I don't know what you were about to say. Let's move on. My number 43 was 15 last year. It's been as high as 99, actually. It almost fell off the list one year.
What? It's everywhere. Okay.
It is. It just depends how much I play it. And last year I played it a ton because of the app. This year I played a little bit less, but I still love it, and that's Race for the Galaxy.
Oh, okay.
Race for the Galaxy, I still really like this game. It's one of the few games that I have where I do not know if I own every expansion for it. Well, I know I don't because that one expansion was awful. And it's such a weird game because the base game for this is such a good game that I almost shun anything else. When I heard about Roll for the Galaxy, I was like, I don't know. I like dice, but come on. And then it was good. Then I saw the Jump Drive, and I was like, I don't know, a streamlined version, and it was also good, But Race for the Galaxy is still my favorite of that grouping. It's definitely, we mentioned this earlier, it was when we did a top 10 list of games that I want to teach noobs.
Oh.
Race for the Galaxy is on that list for sure.
Every time.
If we come, you're like, do you want to teach me Race for the Galaxy? I'd be like, sure. I'll teach you at a convention, okay? I gotta be careful if you're like, what? But I would prefer to play it with people who know what they're doing because there's that much going on in it.
Yes.
I agree.
Race for the Galaxy.
My number 43 was Z's 44. And that is
Get out.
Queen Domino.
That's amazing.
Queen Domino.
I wish you had just liked it a little bit
It was
more.
72 last year, so
That's
it has
awesome.
risen. And I like Queen Domino. King Domino is not on my list because this effectively replaces King Domino.
I almost
for
put
me.
Queen Domino for my number 43.
So,
Get out.
no, I didn't. So everything that he said basically about, King Domino is just really basic. It's
garbage.
No, it's not garbage.
I don't like it.
I don't know, it just feels like themed dominoes. That's all King Domino really felt like. Have you ever
dominoes.
played? Oh, yeah,
Glad
I
you
like
think
dominoes
there's
too.
theme in
But
it. It doesn't feel like themed dominoes.
that's what I'm saying. Themed dominoes. That it's instead of just pips, you have these different fields and stuff like that you're matching together. And so But Queen, excuse me, but Queen Domino takes that and adds that extra veneer of fun, complexity to the game.
There's more going on.
Choices.
Yeah.
More choices to make, and that's what makes it better, in my opinion. So that's number 43, Queen Domino.
I agree.
You have to.
I better.
But
43.
Apparently, this game knocked it down a little. What is it?
43 is Gold West. You've played Gold West with me. This was 59
I want to play this
time.
one. I've not
Gold
played
West
this.
is a very old school Euro game, and by that I mean it's a very streamlined design. It makes me feel like I'm playing these games that were coming out in the late 90s, let's say, or early 2000s that were Euro games, and there was not yet that sort of mixture between thematic games and mechanic games where the mechanisms were front and center and they were just real clean concepts I'd play. This game looks good, don't get me wrong, and the theme is, there, but it just works very well. It's kind of a point salad game. You can do a lot of different things, but you are building up your tents, claiming land, gathering resources. You can get points from advancing your wagon down specific tracks. You can get points from goals, achieving those goals. There's a lot happening, but it's a quick game. It's, it moves along at a real nice clip. I enjoy this a lot. Really one of my favorite Euro games if I feel like playing something that's a looker, and I enjoy teaching. I don't have a problem teaching, because while there are a lot of different ways to get points, they're all pretty straightforward.
Yeah,
So-
this is definitely one I want to get. I've not played this, but you guys played it without me, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Gold West, my 43. Really good stuff.
Cool.
Me and the People's Choice are like on point this right now. 43 was their 34 last year, and that's Roll for the Galaxy.
Oh, wow.
Pretty close to my race, actually. And this is one I see get played every once in a while. I walk by and see people with the cups and rolling the dice, and it's just a lot of fun. It's very colorful, too.
Yes.
It's a very attractive looking game from a distance. There's a little bit of a learning curve to how you put those dice behind the screen. Like, you need one of the symbol for it to work, but you can put other dice there.
You can do anything on any one spot, yeah.
But a lot of fun. Roll for the Galaxy. You're number 43. My number 42 is not new to the list, but it was on last year, but with a different name. It was 67 last year, and last year it was called Tief Taschen. This year it's called Good Critters.
Good Critters.
Really like this game. It is the sequel of sorts to Sheriff of Nottingham. This whole voting in the person of power, and then hopefully they give you some of the money. It was originally a political game. Now it's a gangster game. Same thing. Got some money. One person splits up the money however they might choose, and you then say, I agree with this decision or not. And if you agree with it, if the majority of people agree with it, they'll keep splitting the money. Eventually, you're going to get tired of this nonsense and kick them out and have someone new in there.
Yeah.
It works well. It scales well. I think it's 4 to 8 players. I get a kick out of this one every time I play it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people getting into the roles, a lot of this back and forth, and it doesn't overstay its welcome. So Good Critters or Tief Taschen. If you want the political theme, you could probably find that one somewhere.
Yep. My number 42 is a new edition.
43.
I'm sorry. No, it's 42.
Are we on 42s?
43s.
Never mind, I'm a moron.
42 is a new addition to the list, and that is Dragon Castle. Dragon Castle is
It's really high.
Mahjong looking game?
Yeah, it's a really pretty, gorgeous design with great components. And that's one of the main reasons. I mean, I really enjoy playing the game as well, but that's one of the main reasons it made it so high on the list, because they just really knocked it out of the park as far as the production quality was concerned. It takes a bit of a time to set up because you have to stack all the tiles on top of each other and build the Mahjong board. But after that, it really flows well, and I enjoy the simple complexity of it. So that's my number 42, Dragon Castle.
Nice. All right, my 42 is my favorite Stefan Feld game. This is Bruges. I like that one.
Good. At least you picked a good one.
I like it a lot because I love, as I've said actually a few times in this 100 games, characters with powers. I'm a sucker for characters that have powers. And in this game, there are a bunch of different characters. I think they all have unique artwork too, which is pretty cool. And they'll give you some sort of bonus, in-game bonus, scoring bonus, something. You are managing a little bit of bad as well. That whole, Notre Dame keep the rats at bay thing is in here as well.
Yeah, but it's manageable.
It's manageable. It's also a small part of the game. And you are then, the rest of it feels pretty point salad-y. You are just, build the river, points. Build more this, points. The monument, points. The
Look
characters.
at me in a good and nice way, points.
Yeah, that's fine. I like that to a degree. But then I think the characters make the game. There's so much interest in that aspect. Bruges is a really, really good card-driven board game. My favorite Feld, 42.
All right, the People's Choice is also not Bruges. People's Choices was 56 last year, and that's Marco Polo.
Okay.
The game that these guys both kind of rolled their eyes when I said it.
I never played. Marco Polo, I've never
I played
played.
it like once.
Fine, but you still rolled your eyes.
God, you
Yeah.
keep bringing that up. I'm sure it's fantastic.
Again, these guys, this designing team, the mix
good.
of back and forth, Tishiani and the other ones,
This
they're
is from
very
the
high.
same guys who did Zolkin?
Ish, right? There's some switching out of these designers. Like two will do this game, and then
Okay.
they're the same ones they did Lorenzo and Grand Austrian Hotel. Very Council of Four. A lot of
Council
that.
of Four I liked. The other ones I don't think I've played. I kind of tend to avoid these games, I guess.
So not sure if you like Marco Polo or not, but it might be in your wheelhouse. Anyway, it's in your wheelhouse. So 42, Marco Polo.
Cool.
All right.
Marco.
Polo.
All right, my last one for today is my most roller coasty one. It came on at 18, then 44, then 87, back up to 26, now down to 41. It all depends on how much I played the previous year, I think,
Yeah.
because this is one of the longest games on my list. It's also the one that takes the most boxes and the one that they promised would have very few expansions, and they just straight out lied, and we all knew it. And that's Eldritch Horror.
It definitely started
I
off
still
that
laugh when they're like, "Oh, it will not get to the heights of
Arkham.
Arkham Horror."
Yeah.
Except, yes. And now
Hilarious.
that they're releasing this year Arkham Horror 3rd Edition, they're not even saying that.
I don't know. We know.
Right? Come on now, your Fantasy Flight. So Arkham Horror 3rd Edition is coming out, and I'm pretty sure in a week or two they will announce the first expansion.
I'm excited for this one, I have to say. Arkham 3rd.
I love
looks good.
Eldritch, so there's so much. I will never probably see every card in that game.
Well, you could just sit down and look through them all. You mean in play? No.
Yes, obviously.
I'm just saying. You should maybe look through them.
No, I try not to do that though. When I get the game, I try not to read the cards because I like that first
The surprise
experience.
is definitely part of the story.
Yeah, there's just so much cool stories, but the combinations of all these elder gods and investigators, and there's so much now. It's ridiculous, and I like it.
That's true.
I think it's the highest rated Cthulhu game on my list. It beat Mansions. Is there another Cthulhu game? I don't think so. I think that's my favorite
Eldritch
Cthulhu
is your favorite?
game. Yes, I'm sure there's a higher one on Z's list for sure.
Yeah, well, probably more than one. I don't.
Oh my. Okay.
Eldritch, I don't like.
No, it's too long for you, right?
No, it's too swingy. It is long. I mean, I played twice. I gave it a second chance. And there's a card in the game that basically resets the game by about a third of the progression. I forget what
I
it's
don't
called.
disagree with that.
I'm sorry. When the game is 3 hours long and you tell me that last hour of effort, give up that, I'm going to try to burn your copy of the game. Thankfully, I got out of there.
I won't argue with that. I know what card you're talking about. Now that I have so much stuff, that card hasn't shown up since it's been in there. If it does, I'll rip it up on the spot because I really dislike that too.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that's somebody had a bad day at work when they designed that one.
You had a bad day.
I don't have any Cthulhu games on my list.
Dude, get
You're
None.
free.
All right, my number 41. It was 28 last year, so it did slip a little bit. But I still really enjoy playing the game. It's just that it's harder to get to the table, and some of the expansions really haven't done it much justice. War in Colonies is definitely kind of where they jumped the shark, as far as I'm concerned, where you had to literally play 2 copies of the game at the same time. Dead of Winter, yeah.
Wait, what was it last year?
It was 28 last year.
What would you don't remember your previous years? I wonder if it hit your top 10.
I didn't write it down.
At one point.
I don't know. It may have. It's a cool game. I love everything about it. I love the crossroads system with the cards, where the card might fire. You really have to pay attention to what other people are doing, especially if you're the one reading the cards, so that you can pay attention. It's a mechanism.
How to get someone to pay attention?
No,
when it's
seriously,
not their turn.
I know.
No, that's
here's a card.
Avoid downtime by forcing you to read something.
Well, I mean, it worked though, right?
It does work.
And it
does work.
It was a thematic. It was a thematic mechanic that kept people involved in the game.
It does.
That's a cool thing. I also like the theming behind it. It's not really a zombies game, although, yeah, it is. It's more about the interaction between the people in the colony. So I really enjoy it, and I still do. It's just that it's slipping because I don't get it to the table as much as I used to. So that's my number 41, Dead of Winter.
Cool. My 41 has an expansion coming out later this year, actually, which I'm very excited about. A really engaging but dice-driven Euro game. This is Santa Maria. Santa Maria is from the same fellas who put out Automania.
Yeah.
They've, honestly, Aporta Games is the company. If you told me list your top 10 companies that when they put something out, you're excited, you perk up, Aporta's on there for sure. They have just put out...
And that's with as few games as they've done.
Right. It's just a handful of games, but, good Euro games, good roll and write games, good card games. They've been all over the map, but they're always good. And Santa Maria is one of the best. It's got a lot happening in it. It's a Euro game with a lot of sort of managing tracks and gathering goods and all that. But the way you get to all that, this idea of drafting dice, placing them in columns and rows to activate the entirety of that column or row, it's great. And you can have those turns where you do so much with one single placement. That feels good. So yeah, Santa Maria I really like.
Cool. I like the game too. I haven't reviewed that one, but I'd give it an 8, I think. I enjoyed it. There was a lot of cool things. People's Choice 41 was 45 for them last year. No heroes involved here, just stars. Star Realms.
Oh, okay.
Star Realms. Yeah, I don't know what it is that Hero Realms I never see on these lists at all. Star Realms still reigns supreme. It was first, I guess. It was first.
It's less prolific.
I mean, it's also maybe easier for someone who's new to jump in.
I don't know if prolific is the right word.
Prolific
but I mean, it's less in your...
Hero Realms is...
It hasn't been in their minds long enough.
Hero Realms was 128.
Okay, you were talking about Hero Realms.
Yes.
Yes.
Hero Realms was 128. So it's still...
Wow.
That's still really high.
Oh, okay, so it's on there somewhere, just off the top.
Yeah. And I would imagine that this one is not too many people voting for both. I would imagine some people voted for one or the other.
Okay.
But not the century.
I know! Let it go!
You're the one that brought it back up.
No, I didn't.
You did.
You suggested it heavily.
It. Yep.
And then you winked at me. Bing, bing, bing.
Yep. You definitely.
And then in my brain's
roll
voice.
a tape back. Roll a tape back.
You can see there was no winking involved. Alrighty, hey, 40 to go. Top 40.
Top 40 hits.
Casey Kaysen.
All weekend. All the time. I am pretty pumped. Still new games for People's Choice and for me coming up in these 40s. And yeah, we're getting to the point where there's games I really, really like talking about for sure. Anyway, we'll see you guys next time. Until then, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia. Thank you.
Sam Healy. See you on the flip side, folks.